What's up, boys and girls? Bruno here with Team UTY, and today I'm bringing you guys a Dinomorphia deck profile updated. So guys, the thing is, this deck is not yet legal in the TCG, but as soon as this card comes out, Arias, the Labyrinth Butler, it's probably going to be a 3 off in the deck. And the reason why, it's a quick effect during the main phase, this card, and you can set a trap from your hand, and then if you set a normal trap, you gotta be a normal trap, but the trap that you set, I want to say, you can actually activate it at the same turn that was set, which is absolutely insane to have something like this in a format soon. Something wanna be, a lot of people don't pay attention for wanna be, but wanna be pretty much allows you to actually set a trap during the end phase of your turn or your opponent's turn. So you have multiples of this in your hand. It's not that bad because you can actually do this like your opponent's turn and then your turn, and then it's not too bad because most of the time you're going to be able to hit a trap from its effect. Pretty much you just like reveal cards from the top of your deck equal the number of unused spell trap zones your opponent control, and then you set a trap from and then you set one of the traps if you revealed one. It can be a continuous, it can be a counter trap, does not matter. Another card that a lot of people are sleeping on is a Supreme King Soul. The Supreme King Soul is absolutely insane because it summons a 4K bit sticker, it halves your life, which is kind of like what Dinomorphia wants to do a little bit faster. And then if your opponent activates a spell, you can pretty much banish this card and the Zark from your field, and then you're going to be able to summon all those 4 monsters, and their effect's not going to be negated, which means you have like plenty of negates with those 2 cards right here. So another thing is, before going to some gameplays, Dimension Shifter. If you play against a deck that really relies on the graveyard, you can actually just go ahead and side out either like this card right here, like the Wannabe and the Arias for this shifter. So this way, like, you don't lose to those decks. Because even though we sometimes need the traps in the graveyard to do some stuff, we don't really need it, which means that we can play shifter and we can counter a lot of decks in the format still. So let's go into some gameplays and see how the deck performs right now. Well, guys, this is a game that I just played right now, and I just want to show you guys how crazy this deck can be and why I'm telling you this has so much potential. So right now, we're going to be playing against Centurion, which is a deck that is still not yet released in the TCG as well. And we just want to see how it plays. So if you guys don't know, this deck is famous. Let me pause this really fast. This deck that he's playing right now, it's really famous to go into a under 5 summons King Calamity lock, which is insane. But guys, check this out, okay? End phase, wanna be only 2 cards, and we did hit a trap, which was the Supreme King. Now, what we can do is, we can just go ahead, activate Supreme King on draw phase, because we have priority, and summon that. Even though we're still gonna get King Calamity locked here. Check this out. There's so much we can do right now. So during the main phase, we'll go, make it level 8, summon Crimson Dragon, and go into the King Calamity. And I'm like, you know what? King Calamity is fine, but I have a 4K bit stick. I can get through stuff. So he puts that on the Spelling Trap zone. I set my 2 pass because he did King Calamity me. But trap decks are pretty much safe from King Calamity if you do have traps in your hand. Even though we're not able to use those 3 cards in our hand, which will be really good, especially the Plato Duality and the normal summon of Teresa to set another trap, we still have here face down 2 double domain that we hard drew them. And then we still have the 4K bit stick, and we have the Supreme King Soul on a graveyard. Right now, check this out what's gonna happen. Let's keep the replay. He drews Nibiru for turn, he had Drawn Lock Bird, so he has hand traps as well. He activates a spell, I chain my trap on the graveyard, and now I'm allowed to special summon 4 monsters from my extra deck. And that's completely broken because this guy right here, it's like a negate. Unfortunately, this is not gonna be alive because our opponent like, we don't have anything with Predaplan counters or whatever it is. But let's keep watching the replay right now. Remember, guys, we just played through the King Calamity combo right now. We still have all this board, and we have the back rows. So right now, that was something funny. He Nibiru me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna chain because why not, you know? And then this is what's gonna happen. He Nibiru's this stay on the field because it's gonna be unaffected by activated effects from my opponents. And then check this out, guys. We have a token with 16,000 attack, and we have a 3K bit stick monster. He's not going to be able to do much because, honestly, it's going to be really hard to play through the Nibiru token. Even if that wasn't enough, we still have another trap in the graveyard. We have Teresa, we have all the stuff, and we have enough to go into game just by 1 punch. And check that, let's go into another replay. This is like the game 2 right now. We played a match, and that's like game 2 right now. Let's swap here. He went first, and check this out. Like I was saying, this shifter and Arias. Unfortunately, this is going to conflict a little bit with each other, but that's not a problem. If we just had the Arias, it would be better, but I was scared that his deck would be pretty good, you know, with like the graveyard. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and make sure he doesn't play with his graveyard, which that's what we need right now. So I was able to summon a monster, even though everything was getting banished right now. Was still able to set a trap, you know, and do the whole thing, which for me is more than fine. He had to pass turn because he couldn't do much more. You go ahead, Synchro 8, 12, here we go. And then target my monsters to banish, destroy. And then here we go, Teresa. We have goes in match. He Cosmic the Frenzy that I had set with Teresa. And then he passed turn. On draw phase, I activate goes in match. And then he starts to do his stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this because I rather have the Omnigate board right now, because it's going to start activating a lot of monster effects. So I just go into Raxturm, and then from there on, he's locked into light monsters. He's not going to be able to punch through my monster because I'm going to make him lose all the attack. And then from this on, like, they can't even get rid of this. Like, most decks can't get rid of, like, Raxturm on itself. And then Goes in Match is just an extra thing that's going to help me, like, win this game, you know? So he does Terraforming, I Ash Blossom, change everything to defense, you know? And then here go Duality, activate, 1, 2, 3. Solemn Judgment looks spicy. We're only 500 life points, that's how the deck plays. Super low life. Now you can go ahead, he's gonna try to just like start activating effects, see if there's an out. He's gonna figure out that there's actually not an out, because it's super hard to get through this deck, to be honest. He attack to get rid of his stuff, wanna be the end phase. I see the Supreme King, so go ahead, set Supreme King, activate a Shotgun. If he activates any spell effect now, I can go ahead and summon anything. And he does activate another field spell, which allows me to summon 3 more monsters. Unfortunately, the Clear Wing, I believe it's Wind, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's Wind, so we can go with that through Goes in Match. But right now, let's game, because we have enough attack in the board to get through this. And just go attack, and yeah, he surrendered, lost connection, and we won the game. So you guys just seen what the potential of this deck has, and it's kind of insane to look through and see that if our opponent activates a spell or uses the effect of a spell, doesn't matter if it's a continuous using the effect, we can still summon 4 monsters from our extra deck and their effects are not negated, which is completely insane for me to think about it. So we have a deck that has a good floodgate, not going to allow your opponent to play spells. We can play also like Goes in Match because it's going to be really good against most decks right now. And we have Butler coming out soon, which will make this deck absolutely insane. But well, guys, thanks so much for watching. This is a bit of a short video. I just want to tell you guys about this deck and how crazy it's going to be. Thanks so much and peace.